Sure.
Where'd you come
Lost foot, you are too late.
That beautiful Skyrim weather I've always heard about.
Lot Kongrach. You truly have the voice of a Dova. Alduin's allies will think twice after this victory. Yes, one of his allies could tell us Matmahus, but it will not be so easy to convince one of them to betray him. Perhaps the Hafkasayun, the palace in Whiterun, Dragon's Reach. It was originally built to house a captive Dova. A fine place to trap one of Alduin's allies, Yes, but your Soom is strong. I do not doubt that you can convince him of the need. I have taught the way of the voice for centuries, and the Thu'um since long before that. But no, Dovahkiin. Others do not come here to train anymore. Saran, you are the first in over 100 years. I meditate on the Rotmulag, the words of power. I counsel in their use. It is enough for me. Knowing a word of power is to take its meaning into yourself. Contemplate the meaning of a Rotmulag. You will become closer to that word as it fills your inner self. Will I teach you, Dovahkiin? What word calls you to deeper understanding? There are 3 to master: Fus, Faim, and Yol. In your tongue, the word simply means fire. It is change given form, power at its most primal. That is the true meaning of Yol. Solyek, power. You have it, as do all Dove. But power is inert without action and choice. Think of this as the fire builds in your Sum, in your breath. Sum Ark Mora. What will you burn? What will you spare? Which calls to you, Dovahkiin? Fus, Faim, or Yol? Fade in your tongue. Mortals have greater affinity for this word than the Dove. Everything mortal fades away in time, but the spirit remains. Ponder the meaning of spirit. Unslad Zi. Where mortal flesh may wither and die, the spirit endures. That is fine. Let that meaning fill you. Sum Ark Mora. You will find that your spirit will give you more strength. Which calls to you, Dovahkiin? Fus? It is called force in your tongue. But as you push the world, so does the world push back. Think of the way force may be applied effortlessly. Imagine but a whisper pushing aside all in its path. That is Fus. Let its meaning fill you. Sum Ark Mora. You will push the world harder than it pushes back. Yes, this was ages ago, you understand. There were more of us then. Before the Bruniki, the Akaviri came and killed all my Zema. I used to visit him from time to time, nearly crazed by loneliness and captivity. Tiraz Sivaz. He did not even remember his own name. I do not know how he came to be caught, but the Bronyun, the Jarl, was very proud of his pet, Pak. The Hofkossayun has been known as Dragon's Reach ever since. Lok Thum.
They say Ulfric Stormcloak murdered the High. Hands to yourself, sneak thief.
not as dumb as you look. I must have misheard you. I thought you asked me to help you trap a dragon in my palace. Of course, you already saved Whiterun from that dragon. I owe you a great deal, but I don't understand. Why let a dragon into the heart of my city when we've been working so hard to keep them out? Alduin, the World-Eater himself. But how can we fight him? Doesn't his return mean it's the end times? I don't know about such things, but I heard the Greybeard summon you. That's good enough for me. Now what's this nonsense about trapping a dragon in my palace? I want to help you, Dragonborn, and I will, but I need your help first. What do you think the Imperials would be doing while this dragon is busy slaughtering my men? No, I can't risk weakening the city while we are under the threat of enemy attack. I'm sorry. Then I would be glad to help you with your mad dragon-trapping scheme. But getting both sides to agree to a truce will be difficult at this point. The bitterness has gone too deep. Maybe... what are the Greybeards? They're respected by all Nords. High Hrothgar is neutral territory. If the Greybeards were willing to host a peace council, then maybe Ulfric and Tullius would have to listen. Aye, Dragonborn. Maybe you can stop the dragons, and this war into the bargain. According to legend, although I never thought to put the tale to the test, Jarl Olaf One-Eye it was, who later became High King. They say he shouted it into submission in single combat atop Mount Anthor, and brought it back to Whiterun. Numinex was the dragon's name. That's his skull decorating the main hall. I was done talking anyway.
Alduin? We heard the Dragonren shout from here. You defeated him? I feared as much. I thought it was him we saw flying east after your battle. We are not warriors. What is overlooked in the Dragonborn is not permitted to any other followers of the Way of the Voice. You misunderstand our authority. The Greybeards have never involved themselves in political affairs. I see. The dragon will lead you to Alduin, but without the Jarl's help. Paarthurnax has made the decision to help you. This is the road we have to walk. Even the greybeards must bend to the winds of change, it seems. So be it. Tell Ulfric and General Tullius that the greybeards wish to speak to them. We will see if they still remember us. The old tales say that he can travel into Sovngarde to devour the souls of the dead. You must find out how he does this before he regains his strength and returns. Dragons have always been able to shout. Language is intrinsic to their very being. There is no difference in the dragon tongue between debating and fighting. Shouting comes as naturally to a dragon as breathing or speaking. In mythic times, when mortal kind was in great need, the goddess Kinnereth granted us the ability to speak as dragons do. For most people, long years of training are required to learn even the simplest shout. But for you, the dragon speech is in your blood, and you learn it almost without effort. We study the way of the voice, according to the teachings of our founder, Jürgen Windcaller. Very few are permitted to study with us here at High Hrothgar. But in your case, Dragonborn, it is a privilege to guide you towards mastery of your voice. He was a great war leader of the ancient Nords, a master of the voice, or tongue. After the disaster at Red Mountain, where the Nord army was annihilated, he spent many years pondering the meaning of that terrible defeat. He finally came to realize that the gods had punished the Nords for their arrogant and blasphemous misuse of the voice. He was the first to understand that the voice should be used solely for the glory and worship of the gods, not the glory of men. Jürgen Windcaller's mastery of the voice eventually overcame all opposition, and the way of the voice was born. The voice was a gift of the goddess Kinnereth at the dawn of time. She gave mortals the ability to speak as dragons do. Although this gift has often been misused, the only true use of the voice is for the worship and glory of the gods. True mastery of the voice can only be achieved when your inner spirit is in harmony with your outward actions. In the contemplation of the sky, Kinnereth's domain, and the practice of the voice, we strive to achieve this balance. That is commendable. But remember, the dragon blood is itself a gift of Akatosh. Do not try to deny that gift. Your destiny requires you to use your voice. Why else would Akatosh have bestowed this power upon you? If you remember to use your voice in service to the purpose of Akatosh, you will remain true to the way. Dragons have the inborn ability to learn and project their voice. Dragons also are able to absorb the power of their slain brethren. A few mortals are born with similar abilities. Whether a gift or a curse has been a matter of debate down through the centuries. What you have already learned in a few days took even the most gifted of us years to achieve. Some believe that Dragonborn are sent into the world by the gods at times of great need. We will speak more of that later, when you are ready.
I've been looking for you. I have a letter here from Quintus Navale in Windhelm. He said it was urgent. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Citizen? Make it quick. I get enough delays from politicians. The Greybeards. What do those old hermits want with me? Why, there's nothing to discuss as long as that traitor Ulfric is in arms against his rightful emperor. They are getting to be a problem. But I wasn't sent to Skyrim to fight dragons. My job is to quell this rebellion, and I intend to do just that. Dragons or no dragons. You may have a point. It's getting difficult to even move troops around without attracting a dragon attack. By all accounts, the Stormcloaks are suffering just as badly. Even Ulfric might see the sense of a truce under these conditions. Yes, fine. I'll come to this Greybeard Council. For all the good it will do.
What business do college majors have in a place like... Wait.
Oh, what is it?
Hey, you're the one
Now
who
that
killed
the
Elaine de Fontaine.
multitudes of our enemies are buried in an avalanche of pain and retribution, delivered by your hands, I shall call you Snowhammer now. You show great passion for battle, and compassion for those we fight for. You are becoming indispensable to our cause. We do what we do out of love for our brothers and sisters. Here, take this as a token of such love reciprocated. You're needed in Hjalmarch. There's much to be done. Distance of the capital. Now that the Empire has been driven from the Reach, we can put a stop to the raping of her silver mines. That silver belongs in Skyrim. It's about time they turned their gaze from the heavens back to our bleeding homeland. What do they want? I have the greatest respect for the Greybeards, of course, and the dragon attacks are a growing plague. But the political situation is still delicate. Not all the Jarls are fully committed to supporting me as High King. I can't afford to appear weak. I can't agree to this unless Tullius himself will be there. Good. Maybe he's realized he's beaten. The way things are going, we'll be knocking at the gates of Solitude itself before too long. Yes. I'll give Tullius one more chance to quit Skyrim with his tail between his legs.
So, you've done it. The men of violence are gathered here, in these halls whose very stones are dedicated to peace. I should not have agreed to host this council. The Greybeards have no business involving ourselves in such matters. Peace? I doubt it. They may put their weapons down for a moment, but only to gather strength for the next bloodletting. They are not yet tired of war. Far from it. You know the ancient Nord word for war? Season unending. And so it has proved. But regrets are pointless. Here we are. Take your seat at the council table. Let us see what wisdom we can find among these warriors of Skyrim. Now that everyone is here, please take your seats so we can begin. I hope that we have all come here in the spirit
You
of...
insult us by bringing her to this negotiation? You're Chief Talos Hunter?
That didn't take long.
Hear, hear.
I have every right to be at this negotiation. I need to ensure that nothing is agreed to here that violates the terms of the White Gold Concordat.
She's part of the Imperial delegation. You can't dictate who I bring to this council.
Please, if we have to negotiate the terms of the negotiation, we will never get anywhere. Perhaps this would be a good time to get the Dragonborn's input on this matter.
By Ysmir's beard. The nerve of those Imperial bastards, eh? To think that we would sit down with that foul-moral bitch. I say she walks, or we walk. Maybe so, but bringing her here is a deliberate provocation. We need to show Tullius we won't be pushed around. It feels like a mistake to me, but I'll bow to your judgment on this. But she is to observe, nothing more. We are not negotiating with her. Is that clear?
Ulfric, why so hostile? After all, it's not the Thalmor that's burning your farms and killing your sons.
She's supposed to be on our side?
You know exactly... No. Not this time.
Now that that's settled, may we proceed?
One moment.
Here we go.
I just want to make clear that the only reason I agreed to attend this council was to deal with the Dragon Menace. I have no authority to negotiate a permanent settlement, unless Ulfric is ready to sue for peace and turn himself over to Imperial justice.
Master Arngir,
We're
are
here
you going
to
to just
arrange a
let him
temporary
continue
truce to allow the Dragonborn here to deal with the dragons, nothing more. We consider even sitting down to talk with these rebels more than generous.
Enough posturing, Tullius. If you came to talk, let's get on with it.
Fine. Let's get this over with.
Are we ready to proceed? General Tullius, Jarl Ulfric, this council is unprecedented. We are gathered here at the Dragonborn's request. I ask that you all respect the spirit of High Hrothgar, and do your best to begin the process of achieving a lasting peace in Skyrim. Who would like to open the negotiations?
Our terms are simple. Riften must be returned to Imperial control. That's our price for agreeing to a truce.
Elisif, are you really going to be a party to this foolishness? Do you really think Ulfric will just turn Riften over because some Imperial general barked an order?
That's quite an opening demand, Tullius.
Ulfric, you can't be taking this demand seriously. We can hold Riften against anything the Empire can throw at it. Besides, Jarl Layla will never agree
We will do
to...
whatever I decide is in the best interests of Skyrim. Are we clear?
Yes, my lord.
Come on, Tullius. You can't seriously expect us to just hand over Riften at the negotiating table. You haven't been able to take it back yet. Why should we give it up now?
I am sure General Tullius does not expect something for nothing.
Of course not. What will you offer for Riften, Tullius? Some empty promises? Maybe some more Imperial bluster?
Enough, Galmar.
Jarl Ulfric, what would you want in return?
First, let me be clear. The Sons of Skyrim know from bitter experience that talking to the Empire is a waste of time. Or worse, Imperial promises are simply a way to lull you while they prepare a dagger for your back.
Aye. We haven't forgotten Markarth, Tullius.
But I accept the Dragonborn's invitation to this council, and I at least will negotiate in good faith. The council was your idea, huh? So tell us, what do you think Riften is worth? Hjalmarch would allow us to directly threaten the Imperial supply lines out of Solitude. Not quite worth handing over Riften. But Not a bad starting point.
You heard the man, Ulfric. We get Riften back. Now we'll see if there's anything behind your fine words.
Think hard about your loyalties, brother. I expected better from you. I know how this works, Tullius. I've learned the value of Imperial promises the hard way. Never again. You're losing this war, and you know it. If you think we'll just hand over Riften, you're as deluded as your Emperor when he signed away our freedom to the Thalmor. Skyrim will never again bow to your false empire. Let's go, Garmar. I should have listened to you in the first place.
If you think that winning a few battles means you're winning the war, you're even worse at strategy than diplomacy.
Stop! Are you so blind to our danger that you can't see past your petty disagreements? Here you sit arguing about nothing, while the fate of the land hangs in the balance.
Is he with you, Delphine? If so, I advise you to tell him to watch his tongue.
He is with me. And I advise you both to listen to what he has to say before you do anything rash.
Don't you understand the danger? Don't you understand what the return of the dragons means? Alduin has returned, the World-Eater. Even now he devours the souls of your fallen comrades. He grows more powerful with every soldier slain in your pointless war. Can you not put aside your hatred for even one moment in the face of this mortal danger?
A very pretty speech. But what does
Shut
it have
up.
to do with the...
If he's right about Alduin, we both have just as much to lose here, Tullius. Remember that. Now, back to the matter at hand. You know as well as I do that we can't hand over Riften on these terms.
I'm sure you have something in mind.
Damn right we do.
Bah, this is a waste of time. I can see that we won't get better terms from this council. So be it. The Sons of Skyrim at least put the greater good above our own interests.
It seems we may have an agreement. Jarl Ulfric, General Tullius, these are the terms currently on the table. Riften will be handed over to Imperial control. Jarl Layla Lawgiver will step down, and Maven Blackbriar will become the Jarl of Riften. The Empire will allow Ulfric's forces to enter Jarl-March. Igrod Ravencrone will go into exile, with Sorli the Builder replacing her as Jarl. You both agree to this?
I shouldn't agree to terms that so blatantly favor the Empire. I have no choice, though, under the circumstances. But once Alduin is defeated, then it will be the Empire's turn. Remember Evgir Unsla. You should be pleased, Elisif. You've done well for yourself as the Empire's pet Jarl. But beware, the Empire's loyalty is fickle. They will tire of this war, and then I will be the one dictating terms to you.
I have nothing to say to that murderer. General, you've proven yourself a good friend to Skyrim. I continue to trust that you will do your utmost to safeguard our interests.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. I appreciate your loyalty. The Empire can live with these terms, yes, for a temporary truce, until the dragon menace is dealt with. After that, Ulfric, there will be a reckoning. Count on it.
Your actions here were a disgrace. You betrayed Skyrim at every turn. I'm sure that will be a great comfort to the families of your comrades who died to free the land you just gave back to the Empire.
Don't listen to him. Ulfric's been telling lies about himself for so long, he's actually starting to believe them. Legate with me. We have a lot of work to do.
Giving up Riften is a heavy price to pay for this truce, Dragonborn. I hope it was worth it.
Jarl Vignar, I assume you are familiar with the Dragonborn's plan?
Yes, I'm ready to do my part. Just say the word, and my men will help you spring this trap.
But the difficulty remains how to lure a dragon to Dragon's Reach at all.
By Talos, that's an excellent question. I hope you haven't forgotten that little detail.
I believe I can be of help here. I anticipated the While you were arranging this meeting, I was busy in the library of Skyhaven Temp, an unguessed trove of lost lore. But the important thing is that the Blades recorded many of the names of dragons they slew. Cross-referencing this with Delphine's map of dragon burial sites, I believe I've identified one of the dragons that Alduin has raised up. Don't you see? The names of dragons are always 3 words of power, shouts. By calling the dragon with a voice, he will hear you wherever he might be. He's not compelled to, but dragons are prideful by nature and loath to refuse a challenge. Your voice in particular is likely to intrigue this dragon after your victory over Alduin. I think it's very likely that he will be unable to resist investigating your call. Ah, indeed. I'm no master of the voice, like these worthy gentlemen, but it is written here in this scroll. Oblivion, winged snow hunter, as I read it.
There's one more thing. We know about it.
I don't much like this truce. Feels like a betrayal to me.
There's one more thing. We know about